One of the most difficult things to do after applying to hundreds of jobs is to keep track of them. Meet ITrackApply, a user-friendly Google extension that helps track job applications to your personal Google Sheets. Upon installation of the extension, the Google authentication page will pop up. Now let's log in. After logging in with your Google account, the application will ask for permission to access your Google Drive and Google Sheets. So let's give permission to them and continue. Now we can see the Google Sheet is created in your personal account. Let's head over to some job postings to see how it works. First, I am going to choose a random job posting from NVIDIA. And I will just click on apply. Upon clicking on an apply button, the extension will fetch the job posting and fill the relevant information to the Google Sheets automatically, as you can see now. Let's try another one. This time I will find the job posting from Amazon. And I'll click on apply again. Now give it a couple seconds, and then we can see that the information is filled out on the Google Sheets. Lastly, I will find the random companies posting from LinkedIn to apply. As we can see, the job information is successfully tracked onto the Google Sheets. Let's begin with the front end. The front end is a Google extension written in JavaScript. Upon installation of the Google extension, it creates a new tab with the URL of my backend's Google authentication page. Then, whenever the user opens a new website, content.js is ran and attaches click listeners to all the apply buttons on the website. Once a button is clicked, it uses chrome.runtime to send messages to the background.js. The background.js then fetches the backend API with the website's URL and the user's Google Access token, which is then used for the backend to identify the user and perform further operations. Next, the backend is serverlessly hosted on Amazon Web Services using API Gateway, Lambda function, and DynamoDB. I used Route 53 to purchase a custom domain to front my HTTP API created using API Gateway. Upon receiving requests, the Lambda function is then called to perform computational analysis. The backend code is completely done with Python. I used Google Drive API and Google Sheets API for the Google Sheets handling, and used OpenAI and Beautiful Soup integration for website fetching. Lastly, the DynamoDB is used to save users' Google credentials securely and with encryption. So that is the basic architecture of ITrackApply. There are still features that can be improved for the application. First, the fetching for salary is currently very inaccurate since salary can have different currency units, can be arranged, and can also be hourly or yearly. Most of the time, the program is unable to fetch it from the job posting. Second, some websites do not allow external fetching, hence it is impossible for ITrackApply to operate on it. For example, whenever the program attempts to fetch LinkedIn, it always only shows the LinkedIn's login page HTML. And lastly, further cost savings can also be done from improving algorithms, OpenAI API calls, and Lambda function calls. Thank you so much for watching this entire video. That is all for ITrackApply.